So 16th of March, 1986, and the title itself is Spiritual Drill. Bab Dada is looking at all the children's sweet silent stage to see to what extent you have practiced becoming stable in the stage of silence in a second. So go into the stage of silence in a second. Are you able to stabilize at this stage when you want, or does it take time? Are you able to stabilize the state when you want, or does it take time? Your eternal form is of sweet silence, whereas your original form is of coming into sound. So in the golden age, we will speak in meaningful ways, but yet we will come into sound. So original versus eternal. Our golden age stage, Baba said that's the original stage, original form. And this, when we were in Supreme Abode, that form, the point of flight form, Baba says that's the eternal form. So your eternal form is of sweet silence, whereas your original form is of coming into sound. However, your original and eternal sanskar is of silence. So whilst knowing your eternal sanskar, your eternal form, and your eternal nature, are you able to stabilize in that form when you want? You have had 84 births of coming into sound, and your practice has therefore always been of coming into sound. However, because of your eternal form and because it is now the end of the cycle, you have to return to the home of silence. The time to go home is now closed. It is now the time to finish all the parts of the beginning, the middle, and the end, the three aspects of time, and to become stable in your eternal form and your eternal stage. This is why at this time, this practice is more necessary. Check yourself to see whether you have become a conqueror of your physical organs. When you don't want to come into sound, does the sound of the mouth pull you? This is called spiritual drill. That is going into silence every so often at your will. Yeah, so I want to go into silence now. It shouldn't take forever to go into silence. So just as these days they say that the cure for all illnesses is exercise, similarly, to make the soul powerful at this time, you need to practice this spiritual exercise. So just like that physical exercise is considered as a cure for all illnesses, similarly, to make the soul powerful at this time, you need to practice the spiritual exercise. No matter what the atmosphere around you may be like, even if there is some disturbance while staying in the midst of sound, you now have to practice over a long period of time being the stage beyond sound. It's not a big thing to create a peaceful stage in a peaceful atmosphere. You need to practice being peaceful in the midst of peacelessness. Do you know how to have such practice? Whether it is a disturbance of your weaknesses or the disturbance of waste thoughts because of your sanskaras. Are you able to make yourself unshakable amidst such a disturbance, or does it take time? Yeah, irrespective of where the disturbance is coming from, we need to have the ability to stabilize ourselves in that peaceful, unshakable state in a second. But in any case, you see, there is no disturbance out there. Everything is within us. Yeah, we love to blame others for our mistakes, but it is all our fault. Yeah, we have to work on ourselves. I've shared this in the past that there was one very senior brother. He's still in his body. He was in Sacramento, then now he lives in Cebu. Very old now. I think he must be at least 80 years old. And so we were very close to him. At one time, Kanishka and I were in Abu in Shantivan, and we went for the Amrit Vela. And in Abu, there are people from India, a lot of people from India. And what happens most of the times, many of these elderly Matajis, they don't know how to silence their phones. So the alarms will keep ringing. There would be constant coughing because, it is cold and it's dry and quite dusty. So there would be constant coughing and constant noises. So after the Amrit Vela came out, and the brother said, I had a great experience today. And I said, dear brother, I didn't really have a very good experience. Dear Bhaiji, I didn't have a good experience. Then why? Because there was so much of noise. And so he scolded me, he chided me. He said, you know, yeah, it's all in your mind. If you are in silence, then you don't even hear the noises around you. So that was a big blow to my ego at that time. And but I realized after that that I can't blame the situations around me for my good experience or bad experience, really good experience, that I couldn't have that good experience. So when it takes time, it can deceive you at any time. At the end of completion, that is at the end, you're not going to get a lot of time. The paper of the final result will only be a few seconds or a few minutes. However, you'll receive a number on the basis of the extent to which you remain unshakable in the midst of an atmosphere of disturbance all around. If you have had the practice over a long time of taking time to become unshakable in an atmosphere of disturbance, then what will be the result at the end? So you understand? If we, the sentence is lovely, if we had the practice over a long time of taking time to become unshakable in an atmosphere of disturbance, then what will be the result at the end? Therefore, practice the exercise of spiritual drill. You need to be able to stabilize your mind wherever you want for as long as you want. The final paper is very easy, and you have been told in advance what paper you are going to get, but the number will be given in a very short space of time. Let your stage also be powerful. While each of you has everything, a body, relationships of your body, sanskaras of your body. So you see, sanskaras of the soul, but sanskaras of the body. You understand the difference between sanskaras of the soul and sanskaras of the body? In a way, it is all in the mind, it's all in the soul. But why Baba says sanskaras of the body? Because, once we come into the body, then body has its own religion, if you will. It has its own needs. So there are sanskaras of the body that govern our lives. And like I said, in fact, not just govern, but now they have hijacked our lives. So Baba is saying, while each of you has everything, a body, relationships of your body, sanskars of your body, people, possession, vibrations, and the atmosphere, let none of them attract you. This is called being a conqueror of attachment and having a powerful form. So do you have such a practice? People will be crying, whereas you will remain unshakable. No matter how much the elements of nature and Maya come to make their final claim and pull you to themselves, you have to remain absorbed in the love of the Father whilst being loving and detached. This is called seeing and yet not seeing, hearing and yet not hearing. Let there be such a practice. This is called the stage of being in a sweet silence form. Nevertheless, Baba is giving you time. If there's anything missing, you can fill in that gap now because you have been told about the account of a long period of time. So you now have a small chance, and you therefore have to pay full attention to your practice. Whether you pass with honors or simply pass with pass marks, it all depends on your practice. When the bell of time rings, will you be ready, or will you think that you still have to get ready? The rosary of the 8 jewels is small because of this particular practice. It is of a very short time. You people say that everyone has a right to claim the inheritance of liberation or liberation in life in a second. So Baba is saying, so to receive a number at the time of completion is also a matter of short time. However, let there not be the slightest disturbance. Simply say a point and become stable in that stage. The point should not fluctuate. It should not be that at that time you begin to practice, I'm a soul, I'm a soul. Will that work? Baba is saying that will not work because you've already been told that the attack will be from all sides. Everything will have a last trial. However much power the elements have, how much power Maya has, they will all come to test you. It is the last trial that is test and also your last final stage of being karmatit and free from karmic bondage. The scenes on both sides will be very powerful. They will be in full force and these will be in full force. However, your victory is just a second, or however, your victory in just a second will cause the drums of victory to beat. Do you understand what the last paper is? You all have and must keep the pure thought of wanting to be number one. So only when you win in everything everywhere will you become number one. Win one. So we have to win in everything to become number one. If you have the slightest wasteful thought in any single situation, or if your time is wasted, your number will go down. So check yourself. Check all around you. Double foreigners want to go fast in everything. Therefore, starting from now, make intense effort and pay full attention to this practice. Do you understand? You know the question and you also know the time. Yeah? Baba many times would say that double foreigners have more drive to excel. You know, so Indians sometimes can be in a happy-go-lucky kind of state, very laid back. Or sometimes we tend to compare ourselves in wrong ways that with others, in a wrong way that, oh, that person is not making much effort, so it's okay. Let me also not make too much of effort. But Baba always acknowledges this fact about double foreigners that they have a very focused attitude towards anything. Yeah, they want to make effort in a good way, move forward fast. So all of you are those who are going to pass, are you not? Acha. This season, Baba Dada has kept the treasure store open for meeting everyone. Baba will tell you later about what is to happen in the future. So in 1986, and before that, actually, before 1986, through 1986, Baba used to individually meet with children, Baba's children, and sometimes in small groups, sometimes individually. So Baba is saying eventually things will change as more and more Baba's children come to Madhuban. It will not remain practical, yeah, to keep doing that. So you will now, of course, take whatever you have come to take from the open treasure store. The scenes of the drama always keep changing. But see, today Kanishta was talking about that, right? That Baba gave the indication that he'll stop coming. So he repeatedly has cautioned us that the scenes of the drama always keep changing. But this season, whether it is the people of Bharat or the double foreigners, all have received special blessings. Bab Dada will fulfill the promise he has made. Eat the fruit of this season, and that fruit is a meeting and blessings. All of you have come to eat the fruit of the season, have you not? Babdad is also pleased to see the children, but everything has to be considered in the physical world. At least enjoy yourselves now. Yeah? What is Baba saying? Enjoy yourselves now. Baba will then tell you about it at the end of the season. Although the places where you serve are different, the aim of doing service is the same. The zeal and enthusiasm is the same, and Bapdada therefore gives all the places special importance. It isn't that one place is more important than another. Whatever place children have gone to, one special result or another will definitely emerge from that place. Whether the result of some is visible quickly and the result of others is according to the time, every place still has a speciality. So many good jewels have emerged. Do not think that you're ordinary. All of you are special. If any of you were not special, you would not have reached the Father. There are specialities, but some use these specialities for service, whereas others use at whereas others are at the moment getting ready to use them for service. Very nicely said. Baba could have said this in a negative way, that some use their specialities for service, whereas others don't use their specialities. Yeah, let those specialities go to waste. But what Baba is saying, rather, that some use and some are yet to use. Some are getting ready to use. Have I shared with you? I think in the past I have. There is a whole branch of philosophy. They call it as Yetism. Yeah. Have you heard that? Yetism. What does that mean? That instead of saying, I can't do it, what should you say?
I can't do it yet.
Oh, as simple as that. That I'm working on it. Yeah. So if somebody asks you, are you able to stay peaceful all the time? So not yet. Yeah, that is, there is a possibility that you're keeping that possibility open. Yeah, you're acknowledging that possibility and keeping it open for yourself that you can someday reach there. So, yeah, see, someday we will be able to use all our specialities for service. However, Baba is saying, however, all of your special souls, all of your Maharatis and Mahavirs, if Baba were to praise each one, a long rosary would be prepared. If you look at the Shaktis, each one of the Shaktis is a great soul, invisible as a world benefactor soul. You would like that. You are like that, are you not? Or are you just benefactors of your own places? What is Baba saying? Are you benefactors of the world benefactors? Or are you benefactors just for your places? Yes. Acha. Lovely, isn't it? This Murli. So the drill that we have to go into silence, just like it is so easy for us to come into sound, we have to do this exercise of going to silence. No matter how much chaos there is around us, chaos, pandemonium. So can we maintain that stability? Can we maintain that unshakable stage by reminding ourselves that in our eternal form was of silence, of peace. Although, as soon as we came into the body in the golden age, we started coming into sound. And so we can go back to that inner eternal state, eternal form, and just experience silence. And what Baba reminded us is that we have to make this practice firm over a long period of time. That it shouldn't take time to go into silence. In a second, we can go into silence. Otherwise, we won't get the reward for a long period of time. Okay, Ji. Any other thoughts? Nope. Mhm. All right, then.